What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and this is Ahsoka Season 1, Episode 3, Time to Fly. This one, pretty good. Another step, kind of moving things along, getting pieces into place for the main plot to get going, because we didn't really see any major steps happen. Obviously, Sabine and Ahsoka finding out about the hyperspace thing, that's kind of their step for this episode. But outside of that, bad guys haven't really made any steps forward. They're obviously getting the hyperspace engine put onto the thing, but it's not like any moves have really been made. It's just pieces getting put into place, basically. So in that regard, it's fine. I think it does its job well. It kind of sets the foundation for maybe the next 2 episodes, possibly. I don't want this to take up most of the rest of the season and then end on them finally getting the hyperspace thing ready and then finding Thrawn. I would prefer if it gets ready in the next episode or so, and then maybe in 2 or 3 episodes, that's when they go find Thrawn, and then we have kind of the final part of it to see what happens after that. But that's just what I want. Obviously, we'll see what the writers decide to do. But first, I will say the one issue I had with this episode, which I know is going to be more of a me thing because it's something that I'm not a fan of, and I know not everybody will have the same issue, but I did talk about it a bit in the last video. The whole people in charge just ignoring the problem, they went that direction with it. And I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of characters acting stupid because the writers need them to be stupid for the plot to move forward. I hate it. I hate whenever this happens. If there's a good reason for why they're doing this, if there's a good reason for why they're ignoring what's going on, then fine, give me that reason. But the reasoning doesn't make any sense. For the one woman, she doesn't think that there's an actual issue here because, well, all these Imperial people, they took oaths to serve the New Republic. Did the people that worked at the one place not take any oaths? I'm pretty sure they all did. And yet clearly they still were loyal to the Empire. So maybe your little oath doesn't mean anything. So that reasoning was stupid. And then Hera talking about Thrawn trying to be brought back. The one guy's argument, I mean, we don't see it. He gives this whole reason, oh, well, you've been looking for your friend Ezra Bridger for a long time now, and so now Thrawn is conveniently coming back. How does that correlate? Why does she wants to stop them finding Thrawn? Why does that have anything to do with her wanting to find Ezra? That's what I don't understand. Does he just think that she'll find a way to go find Ezra without looking into Thrawn at all? Like, she's asking for a search party basically to go look into whatever Morgan is doing in this area. That's all. As far as I know, she's not actually looking for the ability to go find Thrawn and stop him. She's trying to stop people from finding him. I really don't understand that line of logic that he's using. And even if he was using a line of logic of, you've used resources before to try to find Ezra, and now you're using this and you're going to do that again. Even if that is his line of logic, we didn't see any of that. We didn't actually experience it. We just heard him talk about it. So it's not a good setup. It's something that it's writers wanting to just keep things moving. So, oh, well, we'll just have these people be unrealistically stupid and stubborn. And that's it. And I'm not a fan of that. Again, some people may overlook it and just be like, oh, well, this is how people in charge always are. Yes, sometimes they are, but not all the time. And I mean, clearly, I think is it Mothma? Is she the one that's kind of the head of it? Clearly, she sees some sympathy for Hera, and she doesn't necessarily not believe her. So why isn't she trying to do something about it? Why isn't she questioning why these two are pushing back so hard? Because who knows? Maybe they're corrupt. I don't know. So it feels kind of ridiculous to me, but that's, I know, my own personal thoughts on it. As far as Sabine and Ahsoka go, though, I really do appreciate a lot of what they did in this episode with the two of them, because I was really worried it was going to turn into a big argument and stuff, especially after Sabine was being trained by Ahsoka and got knocked down, and Ahsoka pointed out her anger. I was really worried it was going to turn into, oh, she just doesn't know how to train me right, and blah, 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 blah. And thankfully, they didn't do any of that. It was just that little moment. We see her getting frustrated, and then we go forward a little bit, and Ahsoka's telling her a bit about the Force and how everybody does have the Force in them. Some people have more talent, they can use it. And honestly, it kind of sets up for what I think, I hope at least, is going to be a story of Sabine learning how to harness the Force in her own way. Not a Jedi way, not what we see people like pushing and pulling and doing stuff with their minds and all of that. But if the Force is all around everybody, it's basically like this thing that's in and outside of everybody. It does make sense that some people, they are more attuned to it and they can use it because of that. But that doesn't mean that other people cannot also kind of realize that it's there and realize how to either access it or use it slightly. And that's where I'm hoping that they're going to make Sabine not a full-fledged Jedi, but somebody who is in tune with the Force. Kind of what we saw from, I don't remember his name now, but the one blind guy that was in Rogue One. He was not a Jedi, but he was in tune with the Force. He was a normal person who understood it, understood how it worked. And because of that, even though he was blind, he still was very capable as a fighter. I think that's something they can do with Sabine. They're not really focusing on that. It feels more so like they're focusing on she's trying to use the Force. And I don't want necessarily her to be able to just use it. I would prefer that she's able to sort of access it. That's just where I want it to go. We'll see where they decide to take it, but this whole idea, and it's something that they kind of hinted at in The Last Jedi as well, is, oh, anybody can be a Jedi. That one kid grabbing the broom with the Force. And it's a story that I don't think they realize how stupid that is, because I know the whole idea, oh, everybody's special. You did watch The Incredibles, right? The same company that, actually, I don't remember if Disney owned Pixar at that point, but the whole villain's plan in that one was to basically make everybody on the same level, so that way nobody is special. Everybody's the same. If you do that with the Jedi, if you do that with the Force, and just everybody can use it, everybody can become a Jedi, well, then why are the Jedi special? That's stupid. So I'm really hoping they don't go that direction. They don't just make Sabine able to be a Jedi and she's so in tune and so capable with the Force and all of that. We'll see what they do, though. One final thing that did sort of catch my attention, that maybe a bit of a character flaw, maybe not, maybe I shouldn't be thinking too hard about it, but with Huyang, there's the moment whenever they're flying closer and closer to the hyperspace ring, and the shots are coming in, they're running out of shield, and he's just like, no, I'm almost done, keep going, keep it steady. What's weird to me is we just had, in the previous episode, we just had the moment where Sabine was looking through the droid's memory thing, and there's a chance it could have exploded. And he was sitting there, he didn't even want to do it because he was worried about dying. And in fact, he nearly cut her off too soon just to keep it from exploding. It's weird to me that he was not okay with that, but then here, he's okay with them basically almost dying because, well, he's got to get the scans. I don't know if that's a character flaw, that's a writing issue, or if I'm thinking too hard about it and just, well, that was before there was a clear problem. I don't know. Maybe it was just curiosity for him in the second instance, whereas the first one he wasn't as curious for some reason. But that was just something that popped into my head that I thought I'd pose out there as a possible issue that needs to be cleared up. But outside of that, seeing the whole hyperspace ring was really cool. And on top of that, they did show Kanan and Hera's kid as well. So fun little Easter egg thrown in there that I wasn't sure if they were going to forget about or not. But all in all, I mean, a pretty solid third episode, and it's got my interest at least. It's definitely not anywhere near some of the worst that Star Wars has put out. I don't think it's quite reached Mandalorian levels yet for me as far as live action shows are concerned, but it's definitely one of the better ones, and I can at least appreciate that. As long as they can stay on this track and not make any stupid decisions going forward. So with all that being said, though, on to the next episode. I'll see you there. And now episode 4, Fallen Jedi. This one felt kind of like a good mid-season finale almost, and kind of interesting. I mean, just not exactly what I was expecting. I did expect we would see them manage to make it through hyperspace and jump to this other galaxy to find Thrawn and Ezra. I just didn't know for sure when that was going to happen. I hoped it was going to be sooner rather than later, because I would have hated if it sort of ended with them jumping over there on like season 7, episode 7, and then episode 8 is just they find Thrawn and then set up for season 2 type of thing, or I don't know. I was just really worried about how they were going to handle this, but the fact that they've already jumped is kind of interesting, and it sets up for an exciting second half of the season, in my opinion. So overall, I mean, this episode was fine. Yeah, every part of it moved pretty well. There was nothing really that stood out as really bad or really good. I know Sabine has been trained by Ahsoka for a little bit on the ship, but the fact that she can now just hold her own against Shin after that little bit of training, even though Shin kicked her ass in the first battle, I will say that is a little, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Deus Ex Machina? is that a word? I don't know what exactly the adjective I'm thinking of is, but I see it all the time. It is kind of a cliche. It's something that sometimes I'm okay with it, sometimes I'm not. This one, I'm on the fence. It's whatever. She needs to be able to hold her own against Shin because Ahsoka needs to be able to go off on her own and take on Baylan by herself. I will say the one Inquisitor looking person, have no answers about that. Don't know why they were there. I don't even know if we know their name, but they were just there. And then Ahsoka killed him in this episode, and then a puff of smoke came out. I don't know if I've missed something, if this is a reference to something else. It appeared to really affect Shin whenever they were killed, so I don't know what that means. But yeah, it just seemed very random. I thought for sure this was going to be somebody either we knew, or maybe there was going to be some significance of having an Inquisitor type person there, but no, there's just nothing. They're gone. So I will say there was a thought in my mind, because I do remember there was one Inquisitor that I don't think we ever got confirmation about what happened to them. Like, they fell a long distance. I think it was the one that was voiced by Robbie E. Damon, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was like the third brother. I don't remember the exact title, but it was when they were underground at the temple, and Maul was helping Ezra at the time, and I think Maul actually like short-circuited his helicopter blade, helicopter blade technically, but it caused him to fall a long distance. We never got any confirmation whether he died from that, so in my mind, that was a possible candidate of who this could be. Obviously, we never saw the face, so there's no way to know, but they never spoke in this series, so there's no telling if it was at all related to the Inquisitors or what. Maybe it's just supposed to be some throwaway random character for Ahsoka to kill and best in a battle. If so, then job done, I guess. But I think everything to do with Ahsoka and Baylan and the conversation that's had there, I do think there's going to be a bit more focus on that, because we haven't really talked about Ahsoka much so far. Like, this is the first time we really started to dig into this idea of, you just walked away, you just left. And I think it was referenced one other time. I don't know. I feel like I remember Hera saying something about walking away, or maybe it was Hu Yang said something about walking away from Sabine, like she walked away from Anakin. But this is the first time we really got somebody throwing it in her face and saying, hey, you left and look what happened to him. Look what he did, because you weren't around to do anything about it. So I feel like that's going to be tackled a bit more. Obviously, now we see she's in some sort of seemingly afterlife. I can't remember. I don't think this is the place where Ezra brought her, that he had found, where he saved her before she was about to die at the hands of Vader. And then they saw Kanan at one point. I don't remember much about that place. I just remember it happened. And I remember thinking at the time, what the hell is this? So I don't know if that's where she's supposed to be right now. I don't know how she would have gotten there. I don't know if that's supposed to be an afterlife type of thing, or if it's outside of the space-time continuum. I don't know. But she's there with Anakin now, so I'm sure there's going to be a bit of talking about what happened. And of course, I don't even know if this is actually Anakin or not, or if this is some sort of hallucination. My mind is just empty of ideas at the moment. I have no clue what happened here. It was very jarring. Just seeing her all of a sudden wake up on this road, and then all of a sudden Anakin is just there. My mind is confused. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen, but I also am just very thrown off and not at all sure what's happening anymore. Not at all sure where I thought this season was just going to be. I knew Ahsoka was going to be the main focus for sure, because obviously the show's named about her, but I thought it was going to be more so her kind of on this mission to find Thrawn and Ezra, because I knew that was part of what I've seen from the trailers. I didn't see much, but I knew that was part of it. I didn't expect it to be also throwing Anakin in there, also throwing up her past and what she did before. I was not expecting any of this stuff, so we'll see. I'm still kind of reeling, thinking about what's happening, trying to piece it together. But with all that being said, I think that's it for this episode. I guess I could talk a little bit about Hera. So we know that she's not able to come because of the government and all that, but then she chooses to anyway. I'm not entirely sure if I understand the reasoning. I guess just, hey, they said no, but I say yes, so we're going type of situation. I don't know. It feels like if she's able to do this, then why does she need to ask? I know, I guess part of it is she was asking for the resources, more manpower outside of these 4 fighters to try to do something about it. But it still feels like if you can just bring some people with you that want to help, why wouldn't you just do that without even asking? I don't know. It did feel a little weird. And then also bringing her son along felt kind of odd when you know this is going to be a dangerous mission. I don't know why you'd bring him. And I will say the fact that he throws in the classic line, "I got a bad feeling about this." No. I know it's a catchphrase, but no. Just stop. Stop just shoehorning it in, especially in situations where it's like the bad guys got their way. "I got a bad feeling about this." Well, no, duh. Hey, there's a bomb falling right from the sky, right towards our house. "I got a bad feeling about this." You think? I don't know. They've started using it. I remember that was one of the things that I saw a couple people bring up when with The Force Awakens, is that moment when Han's on the ship and the weird tentacle monsters got released, and he hears them being released. He hears them running around the ship. He goes, "I got a bad feeling about this." Well, no, duh. It's not the same thing as you got this sense of, you don't know what's happening, but I got a bad feeling about this. Not whenever there's clearly something bad that just happened. "I got a bad feeling about it." Stupid. Stop using it in situations where clearly it's bad. It should be something that looks bad, but may not be bad, but you've got a bad feeling. Anyways, little side tantrum there, but yeah, all in all, it's a good episode. Good, again, sort of mid-season finale to build up for the second half. And I'm looking forward to it. So it's got me invested. That's the best thing I can ask for from this show. So all that being said, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What were your thoughts on these 2 episodes? Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future Ahsoka reviews. And until next time, I hope you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you all later. Peace out.